Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Music Culture Daily. It's your boy Maurice. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Today's episode, I'm coming to you guys to talk about, does hip hop have a problem? I'm basically basing that off of the Billboard article that was just released this week, stating that for the first time in 35 years, hip hop does not have a song in the top 40 of the Billboard Hot 100 charts. Yes, for the first time in 35 years. The first entry, if I'm not mistaken, from reading the article, was Biz Markie with Just a Friend back all the way back in 1990. So ever since then, hip hop has been on this unprecedented run of having a song on those in the Billboard charts. So that streak was just recently ended with Kendrick Lamar and SZA's song Luther when it was removed from the top out of the top 25, so it was removed from the charts. So with that, that led to hip hop not having any other songs. So I basically with that, what I'm basically wanting to know, what I want to ask right now, does hip hop need Billboard and all these charts and all these numbers to be validated? Do we need that validation? I know for me, I don't look for chart success to justify hip hop's greatness. I know how great hip hop is. I know hip hop is going to be fine. I know a lot of people is online right now basically weighing in saying this hip hop is dying, hip hop fatigue, hip hop oversaturation. A lot of people are saying that hip hop is basically falling off because we are allowing too many people come in with no substance and no quality, a lot of bullshit rap. A lot of people even blaming the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. They even blaming Kendrick. They saying Kendrick and what they did to Drake, kind of, I ain't gonna say taking Drake out, but kind of cooling Drake off a little bit. That's kind of hurting hip hop because Drake hasn't been putting out music like that, and he hasn't been putting those hits out. So that's hurting hip hop more than it's helping with Kendrick Lamar basically winning this battle. I think some of that could be true, but it's not, because Drake has been releasing music over the past year or so. Just recently, over this past summer, he announced that he has an album. He released a few teaser singles and stuff like that, but nothing's really been sticking and landing as far as Drake is concerned. You know, if you're another rapper, yeah, that's good, but not Drake numbers. So I know he has an album coming out, Iceman, but like I said, should we care about hip hop not being on the Billboard charts? Like, should we care? To me, I don't care about that. Hip hop has been in a great place over the last couple of years. I know, but on the other hand, this is relevant news in a way. So I kind of can see why they will release it, because it is, important to know, because hip hop is a worldwide business. It's it's not just a local thing. So that's how hip hop became big, from being these songs being on these charts. So basically, if you got a top 40, Hot 100 song, you basically got a mega hit on your hands. The record companies and them has backed this single. They put a lot of promotion and marketing dollars in it. It's a mega song. Think of, the Drake songs, Nicki Minaj, Jay-Z, Kanye West, artists like that. And, Kendrick Lamar and Luther with SZA. Like, these are big songs. But like I said, I don't think hip hop needs that as validation. Hip hop never, is not was never built on that. Yeah, we accept the Billboard numbers. They're good, and it's good for the business and the to expand hip hop, because we wouldn't have a lot of these platinum records and a lot of these fans that we have all over the world if not for these big songs in the Billboard charts. But like I said, man, hip hop is in a great place. I don't think there's no need to worry about it. It's just a shift. Hip hop is not going nowhere. It's not dying. I know my man West Side Gun is putting out a new project. He's been consistent this year. He always been consistent. Griselda and all those guys. He got a new project coming out that you should listen to if you're a hip hop head. Coming out on Halloween, October 31st, this Friday. Nas been putting out a bunch of dope projects. Can't forget about my album of the year, Let God Sort Them Out, the clips and all the songs and the projects that they've been putting out. My man Alchemist and my man Freddie Gills put out a dope project this year with Alfredo 2. My man J.I.D. put out a dope project. The Alchemist again with Larry June and 2 Chainz put out a dope project earlier this year. There's been so many dope projects and dope songs that's been coming out that's for real hip hop heads. But on the other hand, it hasn't been those mega hits I know Cardi B released the album maybe a month or two ago now. I'm kind of surprised that she doesn't have a song because her album is pretty recent. But I know Billboard said that Cardi B and NBA YoungBoy and BX the Plug is hovering around that top 40, so hopefully they can make an entry into that top 40 range and get hip hop back in there. But yeah, like I said, hip hop is fine. Does hip hop need Drake? Yeah, hip hop need Drake. Hip hop need Nas. Hip hop needs Eminem. Hip hop needs Jay-Z. Hip hop needs Kanye West. Hip hop needs J. Cole. Hip hop needs all these guys. It needs Nicki Minaj, everybody. That's how we gonna sustain this thing. I don't think there's no age limit on this art form of hip hop. You could be 50, 60 years old, and I think you still can rap and put out quality music. The fans, it's still a fan base for that. We don't need Billboard to tell us how great hip hop is. We let, the business side of that worry about that. But yeah, once J. Cole come back out with his songs, Kendrick, I'm sure he working on new music whenever that might come out. But Kendrick, you might not hear from him probably for another year or two. But Drake is definitely coming back with something. I'm sure that's going to enter the charts. And there's a lot of artists. Kanye West rumoredly supposed to be dropping a new project, and some more people. But yeah, like I said, hip hop does need everybody to participate. But we don't need the Billboard charts. I don't give a damn about that, man. That don't justify me what's hot, what's going on in hip hop. Because a lot of these songs are pushing. They got $1 million budgets behind them. But yeah, it's some good hip hop out there. With Billy Woods dropped a dope album this year. A lot of y'all might not know who that is, but he got a dope project. Like I said, but do hip hop need those pop top 40 songs to survive and to stay relevant? I don't think so. But is it good? Is it necessary to have just, for the culture and for the art form? Yeah, of course. It's good to have it, because it keeps us keep us sharp and keep us in the conversation with the other genres of music. I looked at the Billboard list earlier, and Taylor Swift is just killing it. She got like 30 songs on the Billboard Top 100. She has a lot of entries on there. But yeah, we do need that, to keep us in the conversation of us, of our worldwide dominance that we have come to love and learn about hip hop since we entered the Billboard Top 40 35 years ago. Shout out to Biz Markie. May he rest in peace with his classic single "Just a Friend." But yeah, we don't need no validation from no Billboard charts. We don't need no validation from record sales. Some of the best hip hop albums and best hip hop songs didn't chart that well. The song didn't chart that well. The album didn't chart that well. You can look at Illmatic, Reasonable Doubt, two of the greatest hip hop albums of all time, and some people's opinion. They didn't do that well on the charts. They didn't do that well as far as singles is concerned. They didn't debut at number one. It took them like 6 or 7 years just to go platinum. And we talking about Jay-Z and Nas here. So that lets you know hip hop does not need, you shouldn't judge numbers based off the quality of a record, of a song. Illmatic and Reasonable Doubt can attest to that. Wu-Tang debut album can attest to that. These albums didn't do big, huge numbers, man. They became cult classics, as they grew and as they came. But the hip hop core fans, we love them. Everybody loved them. But as far as them making this big impact on the charts, it didn't when they were first released. Now, as they went along, then they got the platinum success. But yeah, like I said, hip hop gonna be fine. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Do you care about the Billboard releasing this news? Do you think it affects hip hop? Do you think hip hop is in trouble? Like I said, I don't pay it no mind. I don't need the Billboard chart. I don't even pay it no attention, to be honest. I haven't until they released this article. And I thought it was, interesting. It's worth noteworthy news. Don't get me wrong. It is noteworthy to mention this, but to us real hip hop fans, we don't care about that. It doesn't matter to us, But yeah, that's what I got to say about that. But yeah, moving right along real quick, I want to touch on the Cameron and the J. Cole situation. I'm going to read this article from Complex. Cameron is alleging that J. Cole did not honor an agreement after they made Ready 24 collab. The Dipset member says Cole didn't deliver on his commitment to a collaboration or podcast appearance. According to documents reviewed, Cameron claimed he contributed lyrics and a verse to the track, which appeared on Cole's 2024 mixtape, Might Delete Later, in exchange for Cole's alleged promise to either collaborate with him on another project or appear on Cameron podcast that he has with Mace. It is what it is. Cam claimed that after the song was recorded in 2022, Cole failed to follow through on his commitment over the next 2 years, repeatedly saying he was unavailable for the podcast and never moving forward with another collaboration. On the podcast thing, right now, if they had an agreement, of course, J. Cole should honor their agreement. I don't know if they had a handshake agreement or verbal agreement or they had a written contract. But if he promised the man that he was gonna come back around and return him a favor, appear on his podcast or give him a verse or something or collaborate with him, I think J. Cole should definitely honor that what he said. Business is business. I know a lot of people online were saying, oh, what's hip hop coming to? All these lawsuits, people are suing. This is not the same as Drake suing Kendrick over rap beef. This is business. If you said you was gonna do something and I did something for you and you didn't honor it, business is business. So I don't blame Cameron if that is the case. J. Cole should definitely honor what he promised to. And as far as the podcast is concerned, J. Cole, he don't really do a lot of public appearances. He don't do no podcasts. He don't do interviews. So I kind of don't see him doing that. But at least give the man a collaboration, give the man a feature. Hopefully they can settle this out of court and get this resolved. Also in the court documents, saying he can run it to partner on an original piece. Like he said, they recorded something back in 2022. But I guess Cameron wants some new, fresh verses from Cole. Cameron is a new person right now. Cameron is hot. He's on fire. Maybe he wants something else. But they also said Cameron is contended that he hasn't been properly compensated for the song. The name of the song is Ready 24, and he's asked the judge to recognize him as a co-author on the track. The New York rapper also want full earnings of the song. He want to know how much the song made and everything like that. Cameron believes that the song exceeds $1,000 in earnings, so he wanted to be properly compensated for his work on the song. I can't blame him. Like I said, man, business is business. That's what courts are for, lawsuits are for. But like I said, hopefully they can resolve this out of court and J. Cole do the right thing if indeed this is the truth and what Cameron is alleging. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section on this as well. Yeah, that's my time. I ain't gonna take up no more time, y'all. I just want to come on here and drop that real quick. I'm your boy Maurice. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.